What's the deal? It's the boy Dwayne McClain at Dwayne McClain TV. And if you're somebody out there who's looking to make a little bit of extra money on the side, who's actually trying to get a career, who actually just trying to earn passive income and actually try to, help invest and better their future, you guys need to click the link in my description box. And this link is also going to be pinned in my comments. And it's to the Cryptonaire University. I'm part of this group. It is a very friendly, family-oriented group. They will help you walk through the entire process of learning how to invest in crypto. It's damn near like they walking you through it. So you're basically going to go from kindergarten to dang near an expert, in a matter of weeks, months. It just depends on how much energy you want to put into it. Now, the person that's over this university, they are very friendly. They are very, knowledgeable about this topic. They are very down to earth. It's almost like talking to your big sister. You know what I'm saying? They real cool and they help me understand a lot as far as crypto. I even earned some bread doing this. Shoot, I'm about to quit my job. And probably not in a couple months, but next year, if I keep up with it, I should be. And you can as well. So click the link in the description box. And it's also pinned in my comment section. And get in contact with the Cryptonaire University. And let them know that Dwayne McClain TV sent you. Also, if you're looking for promotion, email me at patrock1982@gmail.com. Also, follow me on Instagram and Patreon at Dwayne McClain TV. And support the channel at Cash App, Dwayne McClain, $Dwayne McClain TV. I put a lot of work into this video and damn near did it for free because y'all know my channel's not monetized. Please, donate if you can, only if you can. And yeah, I'm begging for money. I don't care what y'all think about that, how you feel. Yeah, I'm begging for money, but I guess what? I put a lot of hard work into these videos. And I feel like, dang, I'm informing the world. I'm helping saving the planet. At least need to be reimbursed for that. So it is what it is. Talk your junk. Follow me on Station Head. It's my live radio show. We'll be starting that back up this week, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. I'll try to go an hour 30 minutes. But in the meantime, you guys enjoy this video. I'll put a lot of work into it. Y'all sit back, comment, debate. Y'all enjoy. What's the deal? It's the boy Dwayne McClain at Dwayne McClain TV. And today I'm bringing you guys a video on Little Durk. And people been asking me, do I personally think that Little Durk sacrificed his brother? His brother passed recently on June 4th, and we'll dive into that. Of course, a guy like me who's in this community who studies this stuff a lot, I personally think that he did. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people hit me up, or people who was not up to the game, all this type of conspiracy stuff, always want to ask, well, is every rapper that dies a sacrifice, or is every time a brother that dies around him a sacrifice? And my answer to you is yes. The reason why, all of these guys are a part of a cult society. All these guys are part of a, secret society, a cult. They're all dive into this satanic worship. So everything around them has to, fall in line with the elites and the higher ups and how they move. So that is why these rappers, who are all characters in the game, all ploys in the game, when their family members die or when they die, it's always a sacrifice, because these guys are tied deep into a cult. And people don't want to believe it. They want to think these guys are just millionaire people who are living average lives. No, these guys, these rappers in particular, are big time assets, big time investments for the elite. So they're not about to just have these artists doing whatever the hell they want. They need controlled assets in this environment. So that is why these rappers are all sellouts. Most of these entertainers, I'll say 90% of all of it in the entire entertainment industry, from the music to Hollywood to the movies, all of them are all sellouts. They're all washing that goat blood. Once you're washing that goat blood, you are now an official member of the team. So now everybody around them is a target. So if you're somebody and you're kin to one of these rappers or so-called, individuals, you might want to be careful how you move around them. Now, are all of them like that? Like I said, it's a small few that's not, but most of these guys have all sold out and washing that goat blood. And they're all about staying in success, and they will get rid of anybody to do it. And Little Durk is one of the prime examples of one of these people who will do whatever it takes to stay famous. And Little Durk, plenty of people around him has passed. Okay, now I remember Durk when he first came out years ago with Chief Keef, Little Reese, SD. Only one who seemed to stay relevant was Chief Keef. Now Chief Keef is another sellout. He sold out just like the rest of them. But Chief Keef, for some reason, doesn't want to play along the rules. I mean, don't get it twisted. He got his sacrifices in, but there's, you got to be obedient in this game. And Chief Keef is just like slow as hell, but he does his own thing. But y'all see that checkerboard pattern. He does the same symbolism as everybody else. He just doesn't do enough of the sacrifice ritual bullshit to stay in the limelight like Little Durk does. I'm pretty sure Little Durk does all the damn rituals, does everything else to stay in the limelight. He loves his way more than Chief Keef, and he's not as talented as Chief Keef. See, Keef can stay out of the limelight and keep fans. I don't think Durk is talented enough. Maybe he is now because he has the machine working behind him due to all his hard work and sacrificing so many people around him, doing so many different rituals, that now I'm starting to see the younger generation pick up on him. I always thought Little Durk was mediocre at best, even out the entire OTF Go Gang group that started out with him. I had his Chief Keef #1. I remember when that came out, everybody loved Fredo Santana. He was like the second most favorite out of all of them. And then it was Little Reese. And then I think Durk was after Reese. But Durk played the rule by the game. He played the rules. They even, matched him up with like a Dej Loaf and stuff. So once I seen him getting matched up with Hollywood girls and stuff like that, I knew that Little Durk was he was playing the game and that he was into it. And then when I started seeing how many people around him getting sacrificed, I like, yeah, Durk is doing whatever he can to stay into this. That's why I think that he got the Drake feature. And then we'll talk about all that later on in this video. Basically, I'm trying to let you guys just give you guys a synopsis on what builds up to this sacrifice stuff and where it comes from and why these artists have to do it. Like I said, I personally don't think Little Durk is that talented. His music isn't that good. He's just basic at best. I give Little Durk a 5 out of 10 musically. That's rapping, hooks, beats, a 5 all around. But he has the machine around him because, as you see here, he has the blonde hair, so that lets you know that he's been through the brainwashing and everything. Now, I'm going to save most of this stuff for the Illuminati breakdown I do on Little Durk. I might use some of this information for later on. So I'm going to save some of this. So this is not an Illuminati breakdown. We're just breaking down his brother's sacrifice, okay? Now, it was reported that Little Durk's brother was shot and killed on June 6, 2021. Okay, now the first thing that stands out to me that kind of lets me know that this is a sacrifice is the dates. Now, when you start studying this stuff a long time, you start to realize that they do things around like the 6th, the 3rd of the month. They like to do things at 369. You got to learn about gematria and the occult, okay? And you also have to understand about gematria. Now, I'll talk about gematria a little bit later. And I hate when people watch these videos, they get mad when I bring the numbers up and they're like, oh, just numbers. You really have to understand how these guys move. They're being controlled by the Freemason Sonic elite. These people follow the Kabbalah, all the other stuff. Like I said, I'll talk about later on in the video. Now, his brother was killed 2 days after he dropped his collab album with Lil Baby, The Voice of Heroes. Another thing that can signify why this is a sacrifice. Why is it around a time an artist's album drops or at the peak of their career or a few months after they have like their career starting to streak, that's a close relative or a close friend dies? I will break that down later on in the video. But let's keep up with the numerology and looking at the numbers. Look at that date, June 4th, 2021, and also look at the album length, 59 minutes and 45 seconds. Guys, these numbers were picked strategically, okay? We'll also we'll go over the album cover, the white and the black. You see them doing the duality and the yellow. We'll break all that down later. But one thing I want you guys to focus on now is the numbers, okay? Now, a lot of people get lost around this part is where everybody, oh man, you can't be saying sacrifice because of that. It's more to that. We're going to get into it deep, but start thinking about how many times when a celebrity starts to get on that somebody around them dies. Now, we're going to be adding up a lot of numbers. Y'all keep up. I will have visuals and everything for you, okay? So, first thing before I get into all the adding of the numbers up and people start looking confused and getting mad and stuff, let me break down to you, give you a brief excerpt on where the numbers come from and why it's important. Now, this is a brief paragraph that I found on the internet. I can, share the website at a later time. It's basically breaking down why the elite use gematria. Now, I'll read this for you. It said, this elite cabal are obsessed with numbers and rituals. They studied the Kabbalah, where the word cabal comes from. And as part of their practice, they are well versed in gematria. This elite that controls the media, 5 to 6 corporations control the media. codes all their stories and sports with gematria. What is gematria? Very few people outside this group know anything about gematria at all. Gematria is the ancient Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. In the beginning, so it is written, God merged the number with letter. There are many different ways of figuring out the gematria of a word. Why haven't you heard about this? Who controls the media? And the state runs school system. All right. So these are here's a really good paragraph. Like I said, I can post this link at a later date. Probably DM me, email me. I can probably leave it in the comments. But this right here is basically just giving you guys a view on gematria, on what it means. All right. So you guys got to keep up with me and follow me along with it. So this is basically the reason why this number stuff is so important. They're basically having secret hidden codes in these words and these numbers. So don't get lost. Don't be looking crazy. Just follow me. And I'm going to break down to you why this right here was a sacrifice. A sacrifice clear as day. All right. Now, this right here is little Durk's brother. I think his name is G-Thing. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, I looked it up. It's D-Thing. All right. Some kind of name. Anyways, he was killed. All right. He was killed at 32 years old. Now, let's keep up with the 6. All right. So we already have June 6, 32 years old. 3 times 2 is 6. Now, shortly before Banks was shot, a Harvey police officer heard gunfire and noticed a person with a gun at the club at 17038 S. Halstead Street, Nixon said. All right. Pay attention to those numbers. 17038. The 0 has no value. So we're looking at 1738. The same thing Fetty Wap was saying. Another sellout. These numbers are very important too. This entire incident was ritualistic. Now, when you add 1738 up, it equals 55. Okay, very important number. All right, very important. Now, the word Satan equals 55 in simple gematria. All right. Now, you know, we just added when you just add it up, what each letter is in the alphabet. That's what Satan equals out to 55. So I see the number 55. Know that it means Satan. Okay. Now 38 means death. All right. So you already have the 17. 1 minus 7 equals 6. And you got the 38. 3 plus 8 is 11. And 38 also equals death. So even the club that he was shot at and killed, the street, is symbolic, okay? This is a one big ritual. And when they put this stuff in the news, they be hiding stuff with the numbers, and you gotta uncode it, okay? So from the street alone, it lets you know what it was, all right? So 1 from 7 is -6. I know some smart people, it's negative. It's still a 6, damn it. And if you minus 7, 7 minus 1 is 6. So I'm just letting you guys know that an entire street was symbolic, okay? Now, here's another part of the story. It says Little Durk brothers OTF Dang was allegedly shot and killed outside of an Illinois nightclub. And that club is actually called Club O. OTF gang member killed in Club O on Sunday, June 6th. Several Twitter users, including producer Myrtle Beats, Drizzy, and Chicago rapper Cowboy, tweeted RIP D-Thing. All right. Basically, that's why when they send these sacrifices come out, it's basically letting the world know that the fix is in. Now let's add the date up. Let's add June 6th up, 2021. All right, let's do it in simple gematria and see what we get. We get 17, just like the street they was on. 17, that's like the 17th street. Like when you look at the whole street, it's 1700 Street, 17,000, whatever it is. 17. 1 minus 7 again, -6 or 6. You're still getting a 6. A 7 minus 1 is 6. We still are looking at the 6, okay? Focus on that. They like to do a lot of this stuff. 6 is actually a perfect number, the first perfect number. You can Google that. Now, I know some of y'all like, what is all this, man? Y'all looking around like, what the fuck? How is this making a sacrifice, man? It's just numbers. Especially to you individuals who are going to be the reason why the world's going to end, who does not want to believe this stuff. Y'all want to think everything around you is not lies, that the government doesn't lie to you, that Google's not lying to, that everybody around you is lying like a motherfucker. And y'all be thinking these rappers are just normal dudes with all this money who have all this power on society, are not controlled assets by the occult. Now, it gets deeper. It gets a lot deeper. Y'all just follow me. Now, you see Durk standing beside his brother right here doing the vow of silence. The dude probably already had in his head in the time of this picture, like, man, I'm gonna have to get rid of this nigga if I want to stay on. People would do anything for these millions. Anything. That's why we see Wiz Khalifa doing the vow of silence. Same hand sign. He did whatever it took to stay on. Here's a picture of Beyonce's younger cousin. His brother got killed. You know, his guy's an investor or something like that. You know, I need to find who his barber is. That nigga shit was sharp. There's some nigga named Max. He's doing the vows. I'm just showing you guys the vow of silence. And that when Durk was doing that, he was actually giving a symbol to the industry like, hey, I'm under oath here. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, Durk is, he keeping it real. He like, hey man, I'm in the industry. I ain't sucking no dick. I ain't fucking no niggas. But I can kill everybody around me, bro. That's what's up. At least he's sticking to that. Because I don't think I haven't found an image yet of Little Durk wearing the leopard print clothing, showing that he's a beta sex kitten. So if you are somebody in the comment section and you happen to have a photo of Little Durk wearing leopard print clothing, I can retract my statement and saying, well, he did go down both doors and he's doing whatever it takes to stay successful. But as of right now, I think Little Durk is just going down the sacrifice door. He's like, look, I ain't opening that gay door up, but that sacrifice door, oh, I'm all in. I kill everybody to stay on. What I gotta do to keep the millions? Now, the brother died 2 days after this album was released. And this album is very, very symbolic, from the album cover, which we'll break down, to the date it was dropped, to the length of the album. All those numbers mean something. And when you add them and times and multiply them up, which I'm going to do for you, you're going to see a lot of crazy shit. So y'all, it's going to get real spooky. It's going to get real crazy. And it's going to get real, confusing. So keep up. Don't be one of them dumbasses out here like, oh man, it's just numbers, man. Shit don't. This means shit. And you bitch ass niggas who don't believe this are going to be the reason why these elites are going to take over the world and kill all of us and have all of us chip the fuck up and have everybody part robot, and niggas going to be just looking around like, yo man, how can we fight the resistance? How can we fight the government? We need to stand up to them. And now it's going to be too damn late because they done took the guns away. They done took all the resources away, and they got full control over all the money and everything. And you dumbass niggas be like, oh man, this shit was real, man. I should listen to Dwayne McClain. And Dwayne McClain gonna be like 90. He gonna be like 90 living in the motherfucking Himalayas or somewhere. But that's neither here nor there. Now let's add this date up. June 4th, 2021. All right. Now we got 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 15. And we all know 1 plus 5 equals 6. And it gets worse. When you multiply this date, I was just being, inquisitive, being Dwayne McClain, the smart dude that I am. And I was like, let me multiply this date. Let me multiply 6 times 4 times 20 times 21. And you guys going to be real surprised by what I found out. And I want everybody to know this. I'm the new gematria man now. Zach Hubbard, you canceled, bro. I'm taking your spot. I'm that nigga now, Zach. But let's see what we get when we multiply that date. So we got 6 times 4 times 20 times 21. And 10,080 came up. I'm saying, like, what could be the significance of that number? 10080. I'm like, that number is too defined for it to be just random. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm like. So let me look up and see what comes up when I type this number in. And y'all are going to be so surprised when y'all see what I found when I type this into the gematria lookup, whatever search engine. When you type in that number 10,080, you get the word 44444. That's what pops up. Now, it's 444 repeatedly over and over again, but that's very important. And if you are up to date with this type of gematria stuff, you would know that 444 actually equals Lucifer. And I wasn't surprised when I found out that number 10,080 actually led me to Lucifer, the 444. And 444 also equals out to Messiah in English gematria. Now, this is not a coincidence. It's not an accident that number 10,080 led me to 444. And also, for some reason, Do What Thou Wilt came up in the search engine when I typed it in. Now, if you don't know what Do What Thou Wilt is, you guys got to start understanding Aleister Crowley. The entire term, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, actually equals out to 444 in simple gematria. You guys got to really go search Do What Thou Wilt right now and look up Aleister Crowley. This is probably one of the forefathers of all of this, occultic bullshit that is in the rap videos and the music. A lot of these guys are following Aleister Crowley's teaching. He's the one who brought sex magic and blood magic to the spotlight. This dude back in like the early 1800, whatever time period he was. Just know that this man was a very evil dude. And for some reason, that number 10,080 brought me to all of this. And it's not a coincidence that that date, when you multiply it, it comes to that number 10,080. When you put 10,080 in gematria, you see 444, which 444 equals out to do what thou wilt. Also equals Lucifer, all right? Then you also see Jay-Z rocking the same quote, do what thou wilt, on his hoodie. And that's how I learned about this quote. And that's how I started catching on to Aleister Crowley. That's why I said this stuff will take you down the rabbit hole. All right? I like, what does that do what thou wilt mean? And why is it such a big deal? I remember a few blogs blogging about this. Which is also the reason why Jay-Z had an album titled 444, aka Lucifer, aka Do What Thou Will, or shall be the whole of, whatever that saying is, the whole of the love, the law, whatever that is. But just know that 444 is something very, very symbolic, all right? Then they use this stuff in the industry a lot, all right? Letting you know who their God is. All right, Ab Soul also had an album called Do What Thou Will. You guys starting to see the pattern here. You see on his left arm there, he has the all seeing eye. He is another one I posted Ben did a breakdown on. He's just, we just got lost with the time. Somebody's thinking about no damn Ab Soul with that weak ass, normal ass. It's lyrical, but normal ass music. It's very forgettable too. But you see, he has "Do What Thou Wilt" on his back, tattooed on his back. I apologize for the stutter. And look at the album cover. You see the pyramid in his leg right there, how he's posing. You see he's wearing the white and the black for the duality. And you also see the Do What Thou Wilt. Now that number 10,080, when you add and you multiply the date their album drop came out, there's a reason they dropped their album on that date, and it led me to here. It led me to the 444, the Do What Thou Wilt. All that's connected. It's not by an accident, okay? All this stuff is by design. And it gets worse when I look at that album number. I'm like, let me just add that album number and see what I can come up with and see what I can find. Now, I know some of y'all looking at me like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? I'm lost as fuck. You multiplied a date and got this and got that. It gets worse, especially with this length of this album, because the album is 59 minutes and 45 seconds for a really good reason. You're going to see. Now, you add 5 plus 9 plus 4 plus 5, you get 23. What I tell y'all earlier, keep up with the 6. He died at 32 years old. Then if you're in a parallel universe, the album for some reason equals out to 23, 32 backwards. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. This is not a coincidence, y'all. It's not a coincidence. I told y'all those numbers were put there for a reason. All this stuff is real strategic. We dealing with some guys who they deep in the game. These niggas is knee deep. Now, see what I found when I multiplied this number. 5 times 9 times 4 times 5. You get 900. That is real interesting that you get such a perfect 900. It's rare. It's like going to the cash register and buying a bunch of shit at the store and it randomly equals $9. You're like, damn, that's rare to see. It's rare to see anytime you go to like a store or do anytime multiplication or adding these numbers up that you get like a very perfect number. All right. Now, when I typed in 900 gematria in the Google search engine, or you just do it in your DuckDuckGo or whatever engine you're using, you see that 900 in Hebrew stands for Tazadi, final, okay? And I'm like, what the hell does that word Tazadi mean? Me being the acquisitive person that I am, I looked it up. Tazadi is a Hebrew word and it actually stands for the promise come to fruition, all right? The incorruptible is restored. A symbol according to the process of entering through instruction, the instructor, immersion, bursting forth, resurrection, transformation, branching out, the work of his hands, completing the task. So this entire album that Lil Baby and Lil Durk dropped, just let you guys know that they are actually just went through their restoration process, their resurrection process, they're transformed. They actually went through all of the teachings. These guys might be 33rd degree Freemasons for all we know. They might be, or whatever secret society they're in. Every last single one of these frats all have rank systems, or these secret societies all have a ranking system. So whichever one they're in, just know that with this album, they were letting y'all know that they have went through the transformation system, that their hard work is paid off. Their sacrifices have been put in, okay? So this is right here more of a reason why I think that his brother, who died 2 days after this album was released, this heavy symbolic Masonic album that's hidden strategically, symbolically, and only a person like Dwayne McClain would have broke this stuff down. That is why I think that his brother was a sacrifice. Now let's look at the album's color. You see the black, white, and the yellow. Okay. Now, where else we seen this at on the album? Oh, Cardi B's album when she had the blonde hair for restoration and rebirth. That's what the blonde means, is you've been rebirth and restoration. And the black and white checkerboard for duality, you know, life and death. And we also have Jaden Smith here with the blonde hair, throwing the devil horns with the checkerboard, you know, fanny pack, whatever that is. All right. So you also see Little Durk and Little Baby in this video. Little Durk with the blonde hair running the white, Little Baby in the black, the duality, the blonde hair for the rebirth. It's only a matter of time for Little Baby dyes his hair blonde. It's only a matter of time. And he's probably gonna get like some blonde highlights or something. But I do think this album that Little Durk and Little Baby dropped was basically signifying to the elites that, hey, we have been through the rebirth process. We have been reborn and restored. And you see that they're walking to the sunset. Basically like, hey, the task is finished. This job is finished. Let's get our bread and go home. We have done everything we could do. I think there's like we could do a whole nother breakdown on it. But anyways, I know you guys are at this part of the video like, yo, what the fuck is all this shit? What is this dude's talking about? Like, what the fuck, man? Dwayne, you be just doing too much, man. I can't take all this adding up shit. And some of y'all like, so what? It's just a fucking numbers, man. It doesn't mean it's a sacrifice. You're on some bullshit. Give me some real proof. Some real shit. Like, it's just numbers, man. Fuck it. I know y'all like that. And y'all be the same ones who are going to be the reason why the world going to end. Now, let me also break some other stuff down, okay, with Little Durk. Everybody around Durk is dying. Everybody. You know, he done had like 4 people around him die. I'm only going to dive into one other person besides his brother. That's going to be the King Von. The other 2, early in his career, they possibly could have just been some street shit. I personally think he got King Von up out of here. And King Von died shortly or not too long before that, you know, well, shortly after he was featured on the Drake song. I think he got the Drake song in August. Then King Von died in November. You know, he had to do something to pay that back so he could stay in the limelight. I'm pretty sure he been had it planned out. He was going to get rid of King Von. But everybody around Durk is dying, and everybody around Durk is passing. And I'm going to start showing you guys a pattern that a lot of other celebrities use. That they use this same exact method that Little Durk did. Like around the time their album drops, around the time something happens, a relative or a close friend dies. And I'm not the only one who feels this way about Little Durk. I have recently seen a Charleston White interview on Vlad TV that he said that he thinks Little Durk is an angel of death.
Well, you had made some comments about Lil Durk as well.
Yeah.
You called him an agent of darkness.
Well, nigga, if all your energy is dark, then what does that make you? If everything you saying is kill, murder, you a tool of darkness. You ain't got nothing to say, and everything around you dies. If everything around you dying and nothing about you is positive, man, we can't look at him and say one good thing about what he says, what he rap about, his image, what he projects to children. Man, they won't even tell you you'll get a life sentence for murdering somebody. So when I look at Lil Durk, and I've never heard a Lil Durk song, but everything surround that kid is darkness. So Lil Durk image is a negative image of darkness. And I stand by that.
You see what I mean? Everybody around this guy seems to be passing. There's even a video on YouTube that breaks it down that a few of his fans got killed around him. Okay? So somebody who doesn't even listen to his music can see this. It's not going to take a blind person to see that Little Durk is clearly evil. All right? These guys are clearly in the occult, and they're clearly sacrificing people. All right? Now, I'm only going to dive into 2 of these. Well, really just one other one. I'm not going to get into OTF Nunu or OTF Chino, like as far as adding the date stuff. I'm only going to really focus on the King Von for this video. Now, King Von died on November 6th, 2020 at age 26. Well, I've been telling y'all this whole video. Keep up with the 6, okay? And to make things, you know, just give you more proof, we got to do some gematria. Now let's add that date up. 1 + 1 + 6 + 2 + 0 + 2 = 12. 6 × 2 is 12. You know what I'm saying? So 6. And you add 1 + 2 is 3. So now you got 3 6. You know, they like to do things in 3 6 9. I'm telling you that. And when you even add up 11 + 6 + 20, you get Chief Keef. This is not in Jewish gematria. This is not no coincidence that Chief Keef was 57. He had the date up that King Von died. It was 57. You know what I'm saying? I personally think Chief Keef is like they head dog, and they secretly get their orders from him. Now, King Von died right before, at least a month before, Lil Durk's album called The Voice. All right, and that's not coincidental. And he dropped that album on December 24th. 2 + 4 is 6. Now, I also want y'all to look at the length of the album, 38:38, basically 11:11. And I told you guys earlier in the video that 38 equals the death in gematria. All right, like I say, apologize for the stuttering, man. Y'all know I stutter. Anyways, when you add that date up, 12 + 24 + 20 + 20, you get 76. All right, and when you add up 38 + 38, you get 76. Now, I don't think that was by coincidence at all, okay? And when you add up 76, 7 + 6, you get 13. 13 is one of those numbers, it's like a sacred number. It's basically meaning like the perfect man mixed with the perfect guy, 7 and 6. We can do a whole video on the number 13. Just know that this album, where the date equals 76 and the length equals 76, is not a coincidence. I want to see a rapper drop an album on a date and then do the length of the album and see what is the coincidence that the length of the album, when you add those numbers up, that is going to be matching the date that it comes up. All right, I want y'all to do that. I want to just start doing it on like some of your homies' projects and see if it happens. I guarantee you it does. This only happens when these guys are ran by the occult. Now, I do think Lil Durk sacrificed his brother. And if you look at this picture, you look closely at his hands, he's throwing up the Murano hand sign. Look closely. It takes a conscious effort to get your ring finger that close to your middle finger. Your ring finger is one of the fingers that just don't, it ain't like the other fingers. It's very confusing. Try working with your ring finger right now. See how much flexibility you have on it. He's just like his homeboy or his little boyfriend, little baby throwing up Murano hand sign. This one here was done on purpose. Look at Hitler's hands. Y'all see that? This is a Masonic hand sign. I ain't got to make this up. Look at your boy Kevin Hart. Look at his hands. Throwing that Murano hand sign up. All right, I'm going to show y'all one more before it's turned to a breakdown. Look at Angela Bassett. Same hand sign. It takes a conscious effort to do your fingers like that. Try it now. So when Lil Durk took this picture with King Von, he was letting them know who he's down with. He's down with them boys. And that King Von on the chopping block, even though some people were saying the character got killed off. And if the character got killed off, he probably sacrificed the baby or something. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to be talking about him sacrificing King Von as if King Von was an actual person. I personally think King Von was CIA. I think all these guys are down with them boys secretly in some type of way. But FBG Duck was talking about this, and he was talking about in one of his songs, I think it was either Dead Bitches or I'm Not From, one of them songs, he was basically talking about King Von being sacrificed to the Illuminati for Durk. Now pay close attention to what FBG Duck says.
Be that shit. You a sacrifice. He sent you to get bodies. Basically, he just signed you over to the Illuminati.
Now, there was a reason why FBG Duck said that. He actually said a lot in that song. He actually did the vow of silence. He was like, they want me to keep secrets. I can do a whole breakdown on that video. I'll probably drop that on the Patreon. I can't really record it to where it's going to have all the, audio. I hope I don't get flagged for what I put in this video. If I do, we just redo it and re-upload it. You know what I'm saying? But it's only 8 seconds. You shouldn't really get hit for 8 seconds. But this is not the worst part about King Von's death. The day King Von died, Lil Durk actually dropped a song with Pooh Shiesty called Back in Blood. Now, Pooh Shiesty is another guy who has some people on the sacrifice block. We'll talk about that in a second. But y'all see that November 6th, same day King Von died. Y'all don't think that's coincidental that your best friend died the same day you dropped a song called Back in Blood? That you're going to get your money back or your investment back in blood? That is, you sacrifice somebody, put the blood out, what you gonna get back in? Y'all don't think that's weird or ironic or raise any red flags? Now, Pooh Shiesty is gonna be one of the guys who we're gonna use as far as this whole, pattern thing of just seeing how this sacrifice and success go hand in hand. All right, but we'll talk about that later. Now, you see earlier that year, 2020, which was a busy year for Durk, he was on the Laugh Now Cry Later song, with Drake, and that song went #1. All right, for Durk, that's a big accomplishment for Durk. That's like Durk getting his first #1 song. All right, he had to put something in to get that. So that's why I think King Von was a sacrifice for him to even being on that album or song, however you want to talk about it. But let's talk about Pooh Shiesty for a little bit, because Pooh Shiesty was just recently in the news. I think it was in February or something that his brother got killed. So Little Durk brother dies in June, but back in February, Pooh Shiesty brother died. And they both had a song called Back in Blood. Now, let's read this. It says, fast-rising Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty has been publicly mourning the passing of his brother. Fellow hip-hop artist T.P. born Terrence Henderson, T.P. died on February 28th. While the family has not confirmed the cause of death, various outlets have reported he had been battling brain cancer. All right, so this is another one of the situations where people, they don't know how they died. People want to say it was brain cancer, but I just think it's ironic that once the song start going number one, when you start seeing it, it's platinum, going gold. That song ain't even all that hot for it to be like that. That song, it's like a 6. It's catchy, but for it to be doing all that shows me that a sacrifice had been put in, all right? And now Pooh Shiesty get his own Illuminati breakdown. You see him throwing up the devil horns. If you do, all these artists throw out the same symbolism. So it's not ironic for me to understand that these guys are actually putting in sacrifices. You see he's doing the same vow of silence that Little Durk was doing. So what is the coincidence that Little Durk, Pooh Shiesty, both have a song released on November 6th, keep up with the sixes, where King Von died on that same day, and later on, a couple months later, so November, December, January, February, Pooh Shiesty brothers died. Then 4 months later, March, April, May, June, Little Durk brother dies. What is the coincidence of that happen? You know, I'm pretty sure it can happen, but you guys really got to start raising these red flags and start asking questions. Now, for me to make this right here stick, that this conspiracy that Little Durk sacrificed his brother, I got to show you a few more artists that sacrificed their brothers as well. And we already got Pooh Shiesty down. What about DaBaby? Now, DaBaby's brother died last year in 2020. And at the peak of his rising, his career, the very peak of his career, right before he blew up, his father passed, all right? Now, I'm going to read this little excerpt for you, okay? It says, Kirk, which is DaBaby, has 2 children. The first born in 2017 and the second born in 2020. Kirk's father died in 2019, shortly after the release of his debut studio album. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. After the release of his debut studio album, his father dies. Let's continue. His second album is a tribute to his last name and contains a picture of his father in the cover. Kirk's brother, Glenn Johnson, died in November 2020. Same month, King Von died at age 34 from self-inflicted gun wounds. Regarding his religious belief, he stated that I'm blessed and I'm covered by the blood of Christ. Whatever, nigga, you worship the devil. We don't want to hear none of that shit. You worshiping Baphomet. But this is what they all got to say. They all got to say some shit to throw people off. So what is the coincidence? At the very start, of his release of his debut album, the peak of his career, his father passes. Then in November 2020, at his second album, his brother passed. DaBaby getting him out of here, all right? You just another excerpt saying that his father died in 2019 at the release of his studio album. So I gotta let you guys know that this sacrifice stuff is, you guys start raising that red flag. I know people say, well, people die, man. People die, man. They die, man. People die all the time, man. Which is true. It's true. But what if you had a homie, right? He got promoted every other year. And right before he got promoted, somebody around him died. You wouldn't think like, I need to raise a red flag to this. Now, this is something DaBaby posted. He said, I got a text message saying my album was number 3 on the charts. Then talked to my little brother and found out my pops passed away out of nowhere. And my shit went number 1 out of charts out of nowhere. He wrote in the caption, my biggest loss and my biggest win at the same time. Everything they loved about me, I learned from you. Red flag in this. He got a text message saying his album was number 3 on the charts. Talked to my little brother, found out my pops passed away. Now it's just number 1 on the charts. That doesn't raise a red flag to nobody that this sacrifice shit is real. I'm going number 1 out of nowhere. Same day I flew back to my city from Miami. I was out there with my family, just looking at my daughter, thinking to myself like, damn, my baby look just like my daddy. Same time I got the news, my shit was number 1. That's fucked up. No, bro. You were probably excited about this. You got the daggone, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I had to put this stuff in here so you guys can start seeing what I mean by this success and sacrifice. It's really real. These guys be really getting people out of the way for their success, okay? Now, DaBaby story kind of aligns up with Megan Thee Stallion's story. Meg Thee Stallion, another satanic devil worshiper, you know what I'm saying? She, right before she blew up, her mom passed, all right? And you see her in Run the Beta Sets Kid. I'm going to do an Illuminati breakdown her as well, man. You know what I'm saying? But moving forward, we have my boy Larry Johnson. Shouts out Larry Johnson. He be on their neck, man, hard on Twitter. But Larry Johnson posted this. He said, a coincidence. Her mother, who was her manager, died in the month of March 2019, the same month of her breakout. Music industry filled with the easily corrupt, fatherless children looking for Satan to be daddy they never had. Larry Johnson be on their neck. Shouts out to Larry Johnson. Then Megan Thee Stallion tweeted back saying, just because you found out about me around the time my mother passed does not make what you're saying accurate. I've been grinding for so long and would appreciate if you weirdos on the internet will stop trying to associate my mother having a brain tumor with the fucking devil. And then this bitch goes dressed as the devil. So now you're associating yourself with the devil. We're not doing it. Bitch, you're doing it. We won't even be calling you motherfuckers devil worshippers if you stupid motherfuckers didn't do dumb shit like this. We wouldn't call you niggas devil worshippers if y'all motherfuckers won't put all this satanic symbolic shit in y'all motherfucking videos. Y'all do this dumbass shit, not us. We just connecting the dots from the bullshit you stupid motherfuckers doing. Do you motherfuckers who are leading our kids down the wrong place. This is why I don't let my kids listen to y'all bullshit music. Let's move forward. Let's go on to another artist who sacrificed their brother, Fetty Wap. Now, Fetty Wap's brother died in 2020 as well, so 2020 was a really busy year for these celebrities. Now, I think Fetty Wap either owed a sacrifice, cause this nigga got his brother off and he ain't do shit. The industry like, yeah, you sent us a sacrifice, but bro, you're whack and you're washed up. So we'll get you a few songs, keep some bread in your pockets, but that fame, man, you're gonna have to suck some dick, man. You're gonna have to goddamn, you're gonna have to suck some dick, eat some shit. You're probably gonna have to kill your mom, your dad, and your whole family. Cause Fetty, you're ass. There's nothing we can do with this bullshit music. Your sound died in 2015. And Fetty was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I killed my bro. No, I can't even do his voice, man. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't got time for that. Y'all knew I was going with it. I ain't gonna sound like Trey Songz. I fucked that up. But anyways, Fetty Wap sacrificed his brother in 2020, all right? Tyshawn DeFew, 26-year-old brother of rapper Fetty Wap, shot and killed in New Jersey on October 18th, 2020. 6 + 6 + 6 = 18. So there was no coincidence that he died on the 18th. And like I said, and then if you look, 26 years old. How old was King Von? 26. Keep up with the 6. You see Fetty Wap throwing up the 666 hand sign. Okay? So I ain't got to make none of this stuff up, man. Y'all know these guys are all down the occult. And like I said, I think either Fetty Wap wasted the elite, his brother's sacrifice. Because they were like, but we can't do shit with his trash-ass music. But he did get on a few features in 2020. Now, let's move on to another artist who had a brother that passed in 2020, 21 Savage. Just like Fetty Wap, throwing up the one-eye symbolism. Now, 21 Savage is an artist that I do believe sold out, because let's get real. He's not really that talented. His music's ass. His best line is pew, pew, pew. How is your best line? Pew, pew. He's ass, man. He's all right. I give 21 Savage like a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 10, I'm sorry. But here's a story. 21 Savage, rapper, brother stabbed to death in Lambeth. This nigga's from England or some shit. How the fuck this nigga? Anyways, November 25th, 2020, same month, King Von died. All right, so a lot of shit happened in that month, of the months from October, November, and December. A lot of shit. And his brother got stabbed to death. All right, 21 Savage brother did. Okay, now right around the time, at least that month before, 21 Savage released an album called Savage Mode 2 with Metro Boomin. And if you can look there, you see the knife in the blood. How does brother die? His brother got stabbed to death. And if you look at Metro Boomin is holding up the all-seeing eye pyramid, okay? So just look at that. That's very symbolic, the red and the black. He's rolling the dice. It has, I'm pretty sure those numbers, I think it's showing 9. But what I want you to focus on is him holding that all-seeing eye. They're letting you guys know that they're down with them boys. This album wasn't even all that fire, and it went gold, and it went number 1 on the charts. October 2nd, 2020, brother died a month later, right after the success of the album. He either owed that sacrifice, So with this sacrifice game, either you can get it in before the project happens, or you got to guarantee you get it out after the project happens. You know what I'm saying? One or the other, they're going to get that sacrifice in. 21 Savage is seen here throwing up the diamond, just like Fetty Wap bitch ass was. And you can also see 21 Savage throwing up the devil horns. All right? All these artists throw up the same symbolism. They all do the one-eye symbolism. They all throw the devil horns up, every last single one of them. That's why a lot of the videos are starting to sound repetitive now, because all the artists are doing the same shit. It's not my fault that most of y'all don't see it. All of these guys are sellouts, and they do not have the people's best interest. Now let me move on to another artist whose brother died in 2020. Frank Ocean. That's right, the Betty Boy himself, the Chi-Chi man himself. Frank Ocean brother died. His brother died at age 18. All right, same, now 18 correlates with Fetty Wap's brother dying. He died on October 18th. 6 times 3 is 18. All right, this is just a story about his brother. He died on August 4th, 2020. Now, Ryan Moore, the brother of Frank Ocean, has died. The Thousand Oaks Acorn reports and Pitchfork can confirm. Moore, who is also known as Ryan, I don't know how to say that, was killed in a car crash early Sunday morning, August 2nd, 2020, in Thousand Oaks, California. The Ventura County Medical Examiner also identified Ryan Moore as one of the victims in the crash. He was 18 years old. All right. Now, Frank Ocean didn't have no project coming out, anything like that. But don't get it twisted. Frank Ocean is down with them boys. Okay. He either owed this sacrifice from the previous success that he had, so he had to get it in at some time or later, or they try to do it at a certain time. You see here, he's probably been planning to get rid of his brother. You see that 3 on the back with the number 6. 3 times 6 is 18, and the number 8 on his hat. This has probably been staged for him to get rid of his brother. And what is Frank Ocean doing? Just like 21 Savage, just like Fetty Wap, throwing up the one-eyed symbolism. This right here is an image of his video, Pyramids, which was hard to find this video. That symbol inside that triangle is actually from the Kabbalah, all right? These guys are letting you know they are in a cult. I'm trying to let you guys know these people are in a satanic devil-worshipping cult, and these motherfuckers are insane and they're crazy, okay? They're insane and crazy. Now I have 6 guys on this panel right here. And that far right corner, that's the baby. He's throwing up the devil horns as well. I know it's hard to see. I will show you when the next slide over. But look at all 6 of these guys. See what they have in common? They're all throwing the devil horns up. And what do they have in common? All of them lost their brother within the past, I say not even a year, 8 months. So all 6 of these guys lose a brother in 8 months and they're all throwing the devil horns up. It's not coincidental. Now I'm just showing you this image because I know it's hard to see in that last slide, but the baby was throwing those devil horns up just like everybody else. And this devil horns is very associated with the Church of Satanism. So it's not by coincidence that these guys are all worshiping the devil. All right? That's not coincidence that you see all 6 of those guys in that one picture all throwing the devil horns, and all 6 of those guys lost their brother within the past 8 months. It's not normal. I'm just saying 8 months. I'm just throwing out an average. Okay? So yeah, I do believe that Lil Durk sacrificed his brother, because I've seen this time and time again. The same pattern of these rappers selling out and get rid of people. You know, right before the success of their career, right before they drop an album or a song, or even in the entertainment industry where celebrities about to make a big movie or something and something happens. Or these are athletes miraculously got their maids dying in their office the year they win the championship. The Miami Heat might come to mind. Just look that story up. Chris Bosh's maid died right before they won the championship. I don't know what year it was. Just know one of the rings they got with the Heat. But this sacrifice stuff is real, guys. And Lil Durk is an evil, evil dude, bro. He got rid of so many people. So many people have died around this man. If you are a fan of him, I pray for you, because his music isn't even all that hot. But yeah, if you watch this whole video, you got to the end, and you still don't believe that Lil Durk got rid of his brother to the Illuminati, there's nothing much I can do, man. I done broke down the gematria. I even showed different examples of 6 other guys who sacrificed somebody around them at the peak of their careers, or eventually either owed a sacrifice or something. How is it 6 artists, 6 separate artists, all lost their brother within the past 8 months? It just doesn't happen like that. You don't see that at work. At work, there might be 4 or 5 employees who lose somebody the whole year, and it's not everybody losing a brother. Somebody lost their auntie, somebody lost their grandma, and it doesn't happen right around the time each one of those employees got a promotion. Look at this hip-hop game as one workplace. It's very small. There's only like a few hundred people in it. That's like the size of working at Amazon. There's only like a few hundred people, or maybe a few thousand people working there. Maybe 1,400 people working in the warehouse. Same thing with the hip-hop industry. Start thinking like that. This sacrifice stuff is real. This occultic stuff is real. These corporations are running the world, and we, the people, have to find a way to get out of it. Little Durk Illuminati breakdowns going to come soon, probably shortly after this one. I got one already in the clip ready to go, so I'm going to be dropping that soon as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope y'all like this video. Put a lot of time and effort into it. Please, please donate to the channel only if you can. I feel after the work of this video is well deserved. All right, hit my Cash App and follow me on Instagram. I'll be going live on my Instagram, but still trying to go live on YouTube. I'm going through a YouTube conflict right now. I'm going back and forth with them. So he's trying to get my lives back. But yeah, prayers up to everybody else out there. You know, y'all send that positive energy. But if you don't believe me that Little Durk sacrificed his brother after watching this video, you are the reason why the world going to end. Because you fail to realize that our government and this entire world is corrupt, and these people are trying to control us. And down to the very music we listen to the food we eat, everything's controlled. They're eventually going to get rid of us. So we, the people, have to make a change. It's the boy Dwayne McClain. Y'all be blessed, be safe. I'm out.